Hello, friends. You see, we have here our book this week, Iron Horses, and I have it opened up to a page where the words say this: Railroad barons, vision dreams, thinking, planning, plotting schemes. Politicians, Congress, vote, build your railroad, Lincoln wrote. Let me see if I can get the glare off there so you could see some of the faces. Now, the Transcontinental Railroad was a big decision. If I show you on our map here, it went from east to west. Let me go ahead and switcheroo this. Across our country, starting near the middle there. You had the Union Pacific Railroad building towards the west and the Central Pacific building towards the east so they could meet in the middle. That's a big part of our country. Now, why are we learning about a railroad, Mrs. Gorospe? This railroad was important in connecting our nation and bringing people together. Looking at our history is important for when we want to know what our country should be like in the future. And we look to our leaders, the leaders of our country, the politicians, the word they used in the book, or Congress. If you would like to grow up to be a leader to help make good decisions for all of our country's people, we want to learn about those things and the decisions they made. The leader during the Continental Railroad's time was Mr. Abraham Lincoln. And I have a picture here of him working very hard with other people. Leaders do not just do everything by themselves. Leaders love to bring people together to work as a team. Now, in the story, it said, Congress, vote. Now, how many of you have voted before? We do it all the time in class when we say, which game should we play? And everyone puts their hands up. Or what movie should we watch if we have an extra free choice time? And everybody's hand goes up. But Abraham Lincoln and other politicians knew that can kind of switch how people really feel. If we said, let's paint our classroom, and one of the colors was black, let's color black walls, and the other one was let's color blue walls. Now, if you think blue walls would be better, but you saw all the hands going up for black walls, you might think about changing your mind, even though in your heart you know a classroom with black walls would probably be a little spooky. And it's not a good idea. Abraham Lincoln and politicians like him wanted people to vote with what was good in their hearts, whether it was one way, yes for the railroad, or no for the railroad. So here is one way that they made sure that voting was fair. It's called a secret ballot. And we continue that today. You have the stalls. Only one person can go in one stall. You fill out your answer choice to whatever decision. In this case, it's the railroad. Do I like the railroad? Do I not like the railroad? Maybe somebody said, I really like my horses. If we use the railroad, we can't use horses anymore. Or someone said, the railroad would be so helpful because I could save my horses' energy and muscles and they would live longer. Those are the thoughts that they get to keep to themselves while they vote. And if you see here, secretly, they put their vote on a paper and they put it in a box. They do not need to share who or how they voted. We still do that today. When we vote for decisions about our world or our country, our state, and our city, we also have secret places where it's just you only. Nobody can copy your vote, or nobody can tell you, I'm voting like this. Are you going to follow me? Because that would not be honest. and it would not be following your heart if you had to change your vote because of somebody else. So a secret ballot where you hide what your vote, and that way we get the true feelings of the group. So a secret ballot was a very honest way to get how people felt. So Abraham Lincoln, Congress, and all those leaders, they decided to listen to the people. Abraham Lincoln was a leader. Let me go ahead and try to find that picture one more time. Abraham Lincoln was a leader who wanted to bring people together. So in his mind, he said the railroad would be a great idea to help people go from one place to another and for more people to work together. So with his help and all the votes, the Transcontinental Railroad was a project they could begin with the people supporting them. There are more people that helped make the railroad possible. This is Theodore Judah, and he's one of the engineers of the railroad. So we have politicians and leaders, great thinkers, and also great minds like engineers that helped with building the actual railroad. God blessed him with a mind that thought about all sorts of questions, like, what if the train has to go through rocks? We'll have to build tunnels, and he made sure that these tunnels were safe, that the train would not get hurt if they were going through and passing through tunnels. What if the train had to cross water? Well, then Theodore Judah and other engineers like him would think, and solve the problem with math, with science, and design a bridge, maybe. All these people worked together with their talents that God gave them to solve a problem. When the railroad was finished, this is a picture of a golden spike. Now, these spikes were all over the railroad, hammering down the rails to the ground. But to celebrate the completion of their teamwork, they used a golden spike to show that their teamwork was successful. Boys and girls, these are jobs that still are around today. We still build bridges, we still build tunnels, we still make decisions for our country, our state, and our city. You might be thinking about what you'd like to be when you grow up and why you're studying so hard. You could be an engineer, a politician, a leader for our country. Leaders help us remember times of change. For example, right now, this is a very, very different time than we're used to. We have to stay home. Our leaders are working with other people to find the best solution for everybody to stay healthy. And engineers and medical doctors are working hard to find cures or to help people that are in hospitals. So engineers, leaders, politicians, nurses, doctors, all of these are things that help serve God's people. The Transcontinental Railroad, even though it happened a long time ago, reminds us that together you can accomplish so much by working with people in a team. Thanks, friends. We'll go ahead and learn more about our railroad next time.